Hi, I'm Trace with Alpine Science, and I wanted to talk very quickly about my cook kit and its evolution. So basically what I've got in my kit these days is I'm gonna have my spork, my Japanese knife, Hiramoto, something like that. I'm gonna have a funnel, which I'll talk about in a second. It's a collapsible funnel. And I'm going to have my tablespoon measurer. In the past, I would carry a stove and gas, and I would boil water at the end of the day. Typically, I'd make something, noodles or something along those lines. I no longer eat carbs or sugar, which is awesome for performance and energy, but also it means I don't need a stove. So I'm now no cook, which means less weight, less stuff to organize. But what it does mean, the trade-off is I've got a lot of powders I'm dealing with. So typical breakfast for me would be protein powder, MCT or coconut oil powder, heavy cream powder, and maybe one or two other things. But the trick is getting these powders into your bottles. In the past, I would use a titanium mug, a Bot 700 milliliter. But the problem with that is once you have this shake or this coffee or whatever it is, you gotta slam it. You can't, it's hard to do on the run. Even though those have a screwable lid, they're a nightmare to clean. So I started using a Gatorade bottle, and I can just sip, put the lid back on, I'm good to go. The problem is that it's really hard. This is a tablespoon. It's hard to get this stuff in here. It's inevitably a mess, and I found myself kind of trying to do like a funnel with my hand. I decided, well, hey, a teaspoon is 3 tablespoons. I'll just use this instead of the bigger tablespoon. And even though it's a perfect match like that, it's still the same problems. So I inevitably came up with the conclusion that I have to bring a funnel. It's how I solve this problem and just make things quick and neat and clean. So how do I carry these things was the next question. I found a container. The trick is the spork. What is this spork going to fit in? So I found this systemic container. Everything fits in there. It's great. But overall, it's kind of big. I don't like big, and it's kind of heavy. But it does the trick. So then I started thinking about, well, I've got a little air zip ditty bag by Granite Gear right here. It all fits in there. That's all nice and well, but this spork is inevitably, I'm going to have holes. So that's a no-go. Finally, even though my goal was to never go back to a foldable spork, I decided to give it a shot, and so we've got this guy. And what that means is now I can change the form factor significantly. And what I'm going to do here is get everything in. So basically everything fits in this little systemic container. And basically it's gonna go in my food bag, go in my back pocket, whatever I need in a simple container. And also if it's not totally clean, if I'm in an area where there's not a lot of water and I'm trying to conserve water for some reason, it can go in here dirty and it's not a big deal. I don't like using disposable stuff. So like using a Ziploc for this type of stuff, it just doesn't last well. Holes, anything with metal, with sharp pointy things, it's gonna get holes really quick. So especially for the purposes of a through hike, I don't wanna be constantly having to re-up on the bags. So this is the latest evolution of my backpacking nerdery and the evolution of my cook kit. Thank you so much.